Welcome back. Days after Osama was killed in an operation by the US deep within Pakistan, questions are now being raised about India pressurizing Pakistan for Dawood Ibrahim, who, it is common knowledge, resides in Karachi. However, despite India's repeated assertions over many decades, Pakistan has denied Dawood's presence in the country. Everyone knows exactly where he lives in Karachi. Sources even telling Times Now that despite Pakistan's stance, India is totally sure Dawood is in Pakistan. Before I begin the debate tonight, we all know that the whole talk about covert action by India against Pakistan emanates out of the question of Dawood Ibrahim. I want to preface this by saying that. I also want to preface this by saying how much of a realistic option is it for India to launch a stealthy operation against Dawood on Pakistani soil? Are talks of a covert action operation in Pakistan, whatever you call it, is it just plain bluster? Should India use the opportunity of telling America to put pressure on its behalf or act on its behalf to take on Dawood Ibrahim? And why is Dawood such an important strategic asset for Pakistan exactly? These are some of the questions I wish to address. I would like to welcome back Zafar Hilali, former Pakistan ambassador to the United States, M.N. Singh, former Mumbai Police Commissioner, security expert, S. Balakrishnan, who's the Chief of Bureau of the Times of India in Mumbai. If there is one person who knows in Indian journalism the mafia and Dawood and Chota Rajan and all these gangs and how they work to the back of its hand, it's Bala. And my first question tonight is to General Hamid Nawaz, the former Interior Minister of Pakistan, joining us from Islamabad. General Nawaz, welcome and thank you. Why is Pakistan so determined to support Dawood when potentially after this Osama operation, given the history and the fact that he's the second most wanted man, people say, after Osama internationally, you run a risk once again with Dawood Ibrahim like you ran a risk with Osama?
Thank you for calling me, but I think your preamble is not correct. Firstly, India is not United States, and they do not have the type of technology which United States has. And secondly, we have a common border with India. It may not be possible for Pakistan to hit back at United States, but it definitely would be possible for Pakistan to retaliate in kind. So even to think that such a possibility exists, I think anyone who is sensible enough in India and who is dealing with this very subject would laugh even at the thought of it, because it simply is not tenable. We have a comparable military capability with India, and our weapon systems can hit back all parts of India. So therefore, taking such a big risk for getting hold of one person whom India requires so desperately, I think there are other means and other pressures which can be brought about, and thinking in terms of covert operation, I think will be very, very foolhardy.
Okay, now let's forget the covert operations part. In that case, my second question is to you, Mr. Zafar Hilali, that you have a Congressional Research Service which gives a full report on the links between Al-Qaeda and Dawood. You are aware of what the US Treasury Department has said. There are full American reports about this man who, by an executive order in 2003, was designated a specially designated global terrorist. So there is a precedent of comparison between Osama and Dawood. Do you think there could be American pressure, Mr. Zafar Hilali, on the Dawood issue if India picks up the issue aggressively with the US now?
I don't think that the Americans can bring any more pressure on Pakistan. I think as far as Pakistan is concerned, they have shot their bolt with this particular action. Anyway, I think if you want Dawood Ibrahim, and he is in Pakistan as you claim, be nice to us. Perhaps that's one way of getting him.
Could you explain in little greater detail, Mr. Hilali, what all that would involve? Being nice?
That would involve stopping your rhetoric, stopping your bluster, stopping trying to threaten Pakistan with all kinds of threats, like the statement made by your army chief today. I mean, don't you know after 63 years it does not work? It has a counterproductive effect. Now, if you haven't learned this lesson for 63 years, and anybody who tries to tell you that, even if it is that poor Mr. Badru Kumar, who you treated as if he was a huge alien enemy of India, what can I say? I mean, you hold every 2 weeks a kangaroo court and you act as a hanging judge. Every other argument which is an argument which does not agree with you, you absolutely trash it. Now, the fact of the matter is, if you have problems with Pakistan, you have interior secretaries and interior ministers, talk to them. You will find that you should know how to milk a cow. And if you think that the way of milking a cow is beating it and beating it, I'm sorry, it won't get you anywhere. Just like we believe. Just like you said, in fact, a little earlier, what about the relatives of those people killed in Mumbai? Certainly, that is a question you should ask, that they want justice. What about the 100,000 people you have killed in Kashmir? Many of them, the large majority, innocent. They also want justice. But the fact of the matter is, it's one-sided justice with you. You can't be balanced. That is the problem. When you show balance, when you show understanding, when you really are sincere, then there will be movement. So please try the dialogue route.
Yes. I think everyone is aware. The government of India has very strongly picked up the case of Dawood through the dialogue route, and Mr. Ilali, in June 2006, if you would remember, it was President George Bush who designated him as well as his organization as a significant foreign narcotics trafficker under the Foreign Narcotics Kingpin Designation Act. So that goes back to 2006, and I'm only mentioning one of the points. So, I don't think I discovered Dawood Ibrahim. I don't think I'm the first person to talk about it, but there's a context in which, therefore, I'm putting this point across. And I'd like to get MN Singh to respond at this stage. Mr. MN Singh, is the Dawood demand worth pursuing more aggressively now with America, perhaps?
Well, Arnab, the first thing I would like to clarify here is that nobody in India is threatening Pakistan. I think our Pakistani friends have got it totally wrong if they have been told that somebody in India is talking about launching a war against Pakistan. Far from that. And he expects us to be civilized and polite. I think what more politeness? And the politeness has taken us where? 18 years we have been requesting Pakistan to hand over all these fugitives who are being sheltered in Pakistan. What results and what more can we expect? Now, you see, but I can understand and appreciate the frustration and the angst in the language, the tone and tenor of my Pakistani friends who are so agitated because they stand so badly exposed and so badly humiliated by the Americans' action in Abbottabad that they're bound to speak this kind of a language, and yet they expect us to be polite and gentlemanly. Well, but nobody in India, I would like to tell them and assure them, that nobody has talked about these kinds of language. We have not used this, that we are wanting to go at war. What's the point in going at war with Pakistan now? It could have been understood if in 2001, December, when Parliament was attacked, there could have been some justification. Or if even 26/11/2008, there could have been justification. We fully appreciate and understand that going to war against Pakistan is not an option open to India at this stage. We fully understand and appreciate, but unfortunately, Pakistan has not responded to the gestures that we in India have been showing. We have been repeatedly attacked by the terrorists, attackers coming from across the borders, and all our efforts at being civil and polite and gentlemanly and good neighborly has not yielded any results, and I have no hope that it will end and yield any results in the future. So we are bound to think of an alternative. And I'm not saying that the alternative is simply going to war against Pakistan. Far from it. But there are other options which India must explore and examine. Now, it is very unfortunate that Pakistani friends are talking in terms of, well, America is far away, very powerful, we don't have technology, they will hit us back. Why are they talking of this language when we are, with open offer, we have said that dialogue is the only process and the dialogue is being carried forward, and yet they are talking of this language. Today, I saw on the television, the Pakistani General Kiani is threatening India. I think, but I will only say that this is all probably a sign and symptom of the frustration because of the so bad exposure and humiliation that Pakistani authorities have suffered. But I would like to make an appeal that not only Dawood Ibrahim, but so many others who are wanted in India, involved in the terrorist crimes in India, are being sheltered by Pakistan. I need not give evidence here because it's all known to the whole world.